Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, get into the TA. Alright, guys, we're going to make it pretty simple here today. I just want to point out you still do have this bearish divergence on the RSI. That is a warning sign. We don't know when it's going to happen, but guess what? I will put a little something on right there, and I will point out that SPY and QQQ did start the day above the upper Bollinger Band. You come over here to SPY, we had the same thing, so we were looking for some downside. We also did put the 488 target on the board. It did get hit this morning. All right, we do have one of 492 as well, but we're just going to take that off for the time being because I do think we are going to be pulling back. I talked about this the other day when we had this doji candlestick, but now I do think we're probably going to be pulling back. So I do want to point that one out. But I'm going to reiterate what I did say the other day, which was if we do pull back into the previous all-time high, I do think that and in between there and the previous high there is going to act as a demand zone. Probably going to get buyers stepping in for, probably another leg or at least a decent bounce from there. Come over here to QQQ. All right. We got the same exact thing. If QQ decides to sell from here, you're probably just going to revisit there. That's going to be the bottom of this trend line as well. If it breaks, then that's something, that's going to be very important because, you have like a dual support going on here. Is the previous all-time high and you're going to have, trend line support. So if you break through it, it's not a good look. Not at all. All right, we can actually change that to right there. But that's really what I'm watching for over here on SPY and QQ, guys. Let's come over here to IWM, and this is where I think, we're probably doing what, I was pointing out on these other arrows. So we're going to take this off right here. And I do want to point out, all right, when IWM flips its trend, it typically is, just like we're going to look at a bunch of other tickers, and guess what? They're all going to be, respecting this as well. The 9 EMA, you flip it, you just write it down. But, I care about the uptrend in this case. Last time you broke above it, all right, you broke this downtrend, just like we just broke that downtrend right there. We had a channel going on, which just now looks like a bull flag from this giant pole. But yeah, last time you broke your downtrend resistance, guess what? You back tested it, but you kind of got way above the 90 MA, pulled back to it. You consolidated around it for a few days, and then you had your next leg up. Boom, consolidated around it and came back to it after a few days, had your next leg up. Did the same exact thing over here. You consolidated over to it, had your next leg up. And then finally, I'm not saying you had a shot to play it over here. Unless you want to buy into this knife-looking candlestick right here. Guess what? All right. Then you finally got underneath it. And then you back tested right there. And then you tested right there. Well, now we're back above it. So I'm just going to put it out there. Out of all the indices, I think this and DIA are not looking too bad. All right, DIA is literally you just broke out of a rectangle that took, a whole month here to put together. I don't think the move is over yet. So, before you just go short in this thing, I just want to remind everyone that you're just pulling back into the previous all-time high, and there's really only $5, dollars or so of downside here, $5-6. And then, I'm just saying you're probably going to get some sort of buyers stepping in there, whether that be for a new leg up or whether it be something like that, and then you could short the lower high and do something like that. Maybe you would do something like that. If it comes there, you would short right here and somewhere, golden pocket, and then yeah, maybe you get to at least play something like that, and then you get a bounce, or you come and we start dying. I'm gonna have to see, but this is just something that I thought people should be thinking about. If you're thinking about shorting the beast, just like you can think NVIDIA is in a bubble, but in reality, it keeps going. But we're talking about some warning signs today. Everything as of right now at 3:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time does look like we have, topping signs here. We have spinning tops. We have, shooting star candlesticks. You name it. We have gravestone doji candlesticks. I'm just putting it out there. It looks like, we're probably getting a across-the-board pullback. Okay? That's just something I thought, we should know. You got Apple, you have Amazon, you have Meta, you have Google, you have Microsoft. So I'm just putting it out there. Probably do start a pullback of some sort. You can even come over to the chips, and you have topping tails on these as well. All right, congrats if anybody played this Avgo, breakout over there. We pointed out when it broke out. that it's probably going to continue a little higher. But what we're really interested is that pullback, guys. If we get the pullback here and it happens to, you know, align with over here, all right, end of January, if you pull it back into the end of January around 1150, we're going to buy that dip. All right. And something I want to point out right here is if we just change that to the 5 EMA, all right, we're going to put that on. All right, guys, we're going to wait for the next big name to have its all-time high breakout, and we're going to ride that bad boy. Because, you know, you could have bought in NVIDIA on every single intraday dip. You could have bought in NVIDIA, and you could have made a lot of money. All right? It didn't matter, you know, how much date you had on your contracts. You could have bought 30 days out, 2 weeks out, 1 week out. Did not matter. Just, you know, it has not pulled back in, yeah, okay, not 3 weeks. We got 2 weeks going on here. So I'm just putting it out there. Next time we see one of these back tests, we're going to take advantage of it because we're probably going to see another, you know, I'm not saying a leg, but we're probably going to get a decent sized bounce off of, you know, here over here on Avgo, NVIDIA over here on 502, you know, 500, the previous all-time high over here. High was 502.66. You come over here, TSM, look at this bad boy over here. Like I'm just saying, all these things look, they still look real juicy, and we're just going to get these all-time high back tests. Like AMD, guys, it probably gets bought up right here. All right, you're probably going to pull back, but it probably gets bought up right here. You broke, you know, accelerated your uptrend here when you broke out from your channel. MU, all right, you're still just, you know, fine buys here at the previous high. So, like, all these things to me don't look too bad. So, yeah, let's talk about some individual tickers now that we've discussed the indices. And, you know, I think we're going to get a little pullback here. Just putting it out there. Actually, before we get into that, let's talk about VIX. All right, VIX does have a somewhat of a hammer candlestick on the day. You're holding right at support. All right, maybe this is the new range we're in between $15 and down here at, you know, 1250, we'll call it. Guys, maybe we see VIX go up to a new high here, and maybe we put an bearish divergence, or, you know, maybe it just dances around here like we had over here. I don't know. All right, but I do think at some point VIX is going to be taking a ride, and I think that's when SPY is going to, you know, take this little $5-6 move down. Maybe it goes a little, you know, lower here, and then we're going to be looking at this. And, you know, right under here, you're going to have this. And if you hold up there, we're going to be bullish on it. So I'm just saying, there's not too much, you know, to be bearish on at the current point in time, considering we just spent so much time in consolidation here, like a whole month, and then you just broke out to the upside. I don't think that's the end. I'm just putting it out there. But I do think we will have some sort of pullback here to what I am talking about. DXY, guys, I haven't changed this arrow since we drew it. It was somewhere over here. All right, now I'm just going to go like that. Hammer candlestick, almost back tested that. And, you know, if you take this high, then definitely you back tested that. It could be coming all the way up here to this supply zone up near 104. Okay. And then you have SMH. So this is what I'm saying, guys. You had this. We haven't had a candlestick like this. We're going to have to see how today closes. We haven't had one, though. It's all the way back here. Look at that. All right. So that's the last thing I'm going to mention. Now let's talk about some individual tickers, and that is that. All right. NEO, I just want to point out, I want to make this real clear for everyone. Guys, we have no reason to be bullish on this thing. Start flipping that 9 EMA. All right. You're going to come over here. Come right there. All right. You can't get over. Just literally, you have no reason to be bullish on it. FDX, you know, I'd argue this thing doesn't look too shabby. All right. The downtrend has been broken here. This trend line. You're going to be coming back. You're back testing it. You got over the 9 there. Just saying, doesn't look too bad. Sold out, you know, a little above resistance. What really matters here is you have this high, this is a low, but this is a higher high. So, you know, we're expecting this to be a higher low. I don't know where though, you know, but you have confluence going on right here. Oxy, I just want to point out this in ZOM. I like it. I do. All right. You're holding right at support. You are breaking out of the channel. I like this very much so. Okay. You know, you've had these before, broke through your trend line of resistance. That is that. You know, you got that going on over here. Broke up. All right, guys. So, you know, even if you pull back here, I like it. Tesla, this is what I really want to talk about today. So now this is the risk going into earnings that I want to talk about actually before. Guys, just look at all of these Tesla bottoms, and they don't come from a rounded bottom like we had going on over here. They come from like a knife. You get this knife candle. And, you know, guys, we don't have that right now. So maybe we are about to get a knife candle, and that's going to put in a long-term Tesla bottom. I have absolutely no idea. But if I had to take a guess, we're not going to get that. And, you know, this is going to be bought up. It's going to gap up. But also, that is a complete guess. And that's what I want to also make clear. Okay. I don't want to spend too much time here because I want to put this video out before Tesla earnings. But yeah, daily RSI oversold. You are right here at the 0.786. You're underneath it right now. So we're going to have to see about this one. But, you know, we're going to really just have to see what happens. All right. You know, it's looking like, you know, technically speaking, this is where we want to be buying Tesla. And even if you get a dip, guys, let's look at the weekly RSI. It sets up a really big opportunity. Look at this. All right. If you get this, you know, somewhere, I don't care where the price is. I care about this, where this weekly RSI is. This is, you know, 1, 2, 3. It's only happened 3 times since Tesla's inception. This is marked major bottoms. This is where you want to be a long-term buyer. And, you know, I think this is, either way we go here, it's going to set up an opportunity. I think that's very nice. All right. Next one we're talking about is BA. What I want to point out, guess what? It's trying to make a comeback. All right. I'm not saying it's going to be making a comeback, but it's trying. We're going to have to see what happens here. You pull back. You're now pushing up to a new high here. Want to see what happens here. But, you know, as you see, all right, if we could take back this short-term moving average here, you know, it won't be looking too bad. All right. So we're going to have to see what happens. Cat, I just want to put this on radar. All right. You're flagging above previous highs. Doesn't look too bad. Disney, guess what? You broke out from your flag. You broke out from your long-term downtrend here, and things aren't looking too bad. They really are not. So, you know, you're just literally back testing that right here. It does not look too bad in my personal opinion. D-King, this is one that isn't looking too good. All right. You do have a very large topping tail going on here. And, you know, where do we see these? Boom. Do we have one right here? You went a little lower, right? But you got one right here. You got topping tails up here. All right. So I'm just putting it out there. You know, bearish divergence on this new high. Just swept the highs over here. Probably got a lot of people long. And then boom, everybody's underwater. So sweep these lows tomorrow. People are probably going to sell. Just 1, 2 maybe. Put on your radar for potential trade idea to the downside. Nike. All right. You're in a potential fallen wedge here. I don't know. If you come down to a new low, let's see if we keep this bullish divergence going on. But as of right now, you got a bullish divergence. So we're watching it. Nike. PayPal. Another one that I was just pointing out, just like Disney, you're right here at the trend line. You have, you know, confluence going on here. You got the 90 MA, you got the, you know, neckline here for the inverse head and shoulders formation. And then you also have the downtrend. So, you know, in between 61.50 and $63, I like the stock. That's that. All right. ZOM. You do have a bullish divergence here. I'm not going to say this chart looks very constructive, but you know, maybe you could put together something like that. Regardless, all right, you have the bullish divergence. I like how oil's looking as well. All right, so if you're just going to look at this, it doesn't look bad. You had the inverse head and shoulders breakout. You had the, you know, right here, you had the down sloping channel. And we already saw this head and shoulders breakout, guys. It loves its trend line breaks, right? They're very clean. And if you could break above here, I think these, you know, ZOM over here, and then what's it called? What was it? Oxy. I think these are going to go. All right. Or they got a solid shot. All right. Next one and last one we're going to talk about. It's something a little controversial. And I'm just putting it out there. This thing just had a major breakout. And, you know, you do have a large topping tail going on here. But where's my volume? We got to put volume on this chart. I don't know why volume. I hope volume was here at some point in this video. It's not here right now. Do you see that volume spike right there? You know, I understand it was over, you know, you had larger volume over here, but guess what? You had a lot of action going here. And, you know, you just had a very large move. You had a 100% move. The guy is running again. And guess what? Just look at the chart. All right. I don't want to say anything to piss anybody off, but just look at the chart, guys. This thing is a fresh breakout. We got a hot, like a hype sector going on here, which in this turn, you know, it's Donald Trump. People are getting hyped. And I just want to put it on your radars. You're coming back to where you broke out from. And yeah, just like NVIDIA, you could have just longed any day here, any dip, you would have just kept making money. So just want to put it out there. You're getting like finally your first decent sized dip from the high here. And I just want to, you know, I don't want to say any crazy stuff here, just in terms of hype. But I do want to say, I think it's running for the $100 mark. So maybe this is the break and retest that happens before that happens. I don't know. All right. But, you know, whether this be a giant short squeeze or just, you know, a hype run, I don't know. I thought I'd throw it in here. So that is that. I'm watching it. And, you know, I'm going to set an alert right here. All right, guys. With that being said, I'll catch you all in the next one. Everybody have a lovely rest of your day. Tesla earnings right after the bell probably dictates, you know, where we start the day off tomorrow, whatever. We'll see. All right. But with that being said, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.